Yo, just flew halfway across the world to race a Lamborghini in Italy. Let's go!
Set up their gaming.
Was definitely a kick in the balls. So yeah, Monday we fly in, right? Team had the car set up. We left Indianapolis with a brake issue and ultimately never really got diagnosed. The team had taken the car since then to another facility and run it a few times, but couldn't replicate the problem. So heading into Italy, we were unsure if it was fixed or not, but we thought it might have been. And then right there, as soon as we get the car off the trailer and get the first couple laps in, the back brake is just locking up and I'm, stalling out and everything we can do to keep this car on track.
So he's like, turn it up. And typically when we turn it up, it intervenes more, right? And I turn it up and it just like does nothing. So that was kind of our indicator that maybe the ABS unit was firing to the wrong calipers. And so Italy comes over, plugs in, and yeah, they're like, yeah, you have no rear ABS. So like we felt and like we knew, but now we have a hard tail sign of what's going on there. I mean, it's just, we're losing all of our time in brakes and we're making it all in the high speed unit. So
I think more than it being hard to get around the track is now it's just playing this huge mental strain or role on us because you can't really trust the car and the car is extremely fast and now we're at a place we don't know with a car we can't trust, right? It was a very odd situation to be in where all your competitors are out there running and you're not really able to get out there and run with them. So watching them get that head start on you, ultimately it impacted the psychological, well-being of both drivers. Going into qualifying, it was extremely discouraging to have 20 laps to, my nearest competitor having a couple hundred laps and feeling like they're way more prepared than we are.
Complaining about the back of the car because it was loose when I was in it and I burned them up. So now he's having to deal with the car being loose with no tires on the rear, so it's super loose. So I don't think he's all that happy in there right now. So it'll be interesting to see his reaction when he gets out. I'm sure he's gonna want more seat time. I feel pretty good. I think we're P2 in class, 6th or 7th on the sheets, and no one's really trying for time, but there's time to be found, but the cars are working, see what we can do. So now we're heading into qualifying with a little bit more confidence, a little bit more mojo. We're a little bit off the pace right now, we'll admit that, so we gotta find that and see if we can't take it to these boys. Yeah, we got out there, not the session we needed or wanted, but we kind of knew going into that we were a little off the pace. Man, get back to the paddock and I was like, at least we have brakes and then pull into the semi and the clutch fails. So just riding the wave, man. It seems like it never ends, but if we stay positive, hopefully at some point we'll get some luck back and get some results out of this car. But we're gonna start P2, 6th overall. It's going to be an hour-long race. It's going to be exciting. Hell, we'll do our best. Put on a show.
So yeah, finally got to qualify, finally got to set a lap down, finally got to go over some data with Tom, which was huge. We were able to identify what was going on, get him all psyched up, show that the car was working again, and start getting ready for the race, right? Really identifying what we need to change in our game plan and be able to execute that plan for our race day.
Welcome everybody to Vallelunga in Italy for the Lamborghini Super Trofeo 6th round of the USA North American Championship. We are here 30 kilometers north of Rome.
Yeah, man. So race day, here we are, pre-grid. A couple minutes till Tom's going to take the green. We're sitting 20th. Yesterday's qual didn't quite go to the way we wanted. We got our ABS back. Unfortunately, our clutch did fail during my qualifying session. Still managed P2 in our Pro-Am class, which is very good. Tom's in, I'm out. I'll be in 30, and we'll see you at the end.
So yeah, we wake up race day. I thought this was going to be our day for redemption. We get to the track, everyone's in a good mood, right? We felt like we were about to do some magic out there, and Tom takes the green, and it was one lap in, axle snaps. Sends him straight to the left, right into a competitor, a friend of ours, ultimately another team that we work with as well, and day was over before it even began. Tom's devastated. Took us a little bit to diagnose what had happened. Friday morning, I get in the car, I start, and we take the green. There was a stack up on my lane, and it gets spicy right out of the gate, right? We get thrown back in the mix, and I get into a battle with a friend of mine, Jake Walker, who was also a teammate of mine earlier this year in BMWs.
Well, battle of P5, Walker and Dubet still together. Dubet's unable to find a way past Jake Walker right now. Has been there throughout the whole of this race.
We sliced and diced for a few laps, and ultimately my team tells me, you know, we got 10 minutes to go. We really need you to close the gap to Liddy. That's going to be our competition for the day. And
Jake Walker. Oh, he's now got passed by Dubet. That must have just happened. Walker dropping a position then.
I got around Jake and I was making my way to Liddy. I was taking like 7/10 out of him a lap. I was feeling really good. I thought I was going to get to him, and I knew if I could get to him, I'd get it done. And as I'm about, 3 or 4 car lengths from him, a car comes out of pit lane and just absolutely stuffs me into the fastest corner and creates the gap for Liddy again. So the team pits me there.
It was such an interesting battle between you and Walker before out there.
Yeah, no, Jake's a heck of a driver. I've been teammates with him here earlier in the season, and I think he's a heck of a talent. So just getting to dice with him was really good. We got to his door there, and I accidentally missed a shift, so he got me right back, and I had to pace him for a few. I'm so proud of my guys. We had to bounce back from a lot of hardship this weekend. I think I had 12 laps heading into qualifying, and I've never been here. So we didn't have a heck of a lot of time on setup or any time to learn the track. So just to be out there and running in the top, we're really proud of that effort. And I have to say thank you to the PPM boys for that.
Tom gets out and just gets swarmed immediately, right? And just couldn't ever get our footing out, right? We could just never catch our breath in that race. And it felt like that one just kind of overwhelmed us, to be honest. It was probably not our day to win, just due to the fact that everyone we were racing had so much more time, and that was our first race of the weekend, truly. So even though we went backwards there in the second half of the race, I think that was probably a reflection of that lack of time that we had, and all of our competitors definitely had an edge on us. Coming over to Europe as an American, I'm on someone else's turf, right? So I don't have any expectations, and I think anyone would be delusional to think coming to someone else's home turf, they wouldn't be at a disadvantage, right? Definitely entertained some conversations, but I wasn't gonna let it define my weekend or ultimately get in my headspace and make us act any differently than what we were. So control what we can control, drive our race car, do what we can, salvage, the best result out of the weekend, and take the data that we produced from race 1, head into Worlds, and put our head down and get the best result that we can. Yeah, the race was wild, I'm not gonna lie. It was for sure the most aggressive start and pace out of all of the races we had this year. And I think that was a big part of us feeling and seeing the speed of those European cars. It felt like there was never a straightaway you could get away or breathe. I had a car on me for the whole time of my ascent, just constantly glued to my bumper, looking for a way to try to get to the inside.
So we're gonna go up spot for Tom. It is wild out there. So we're kind of all wondering what's going on here. A couple of the North American teams are asking me why is the safety car not collecting the pack. It's madness right now. I'm not really sure what race control's doing. There is a little bit of confusion because normally we run under North American rules and we're in Europe, so we're running under Europe's rules. Everybody seems to be on a different page today, so it's making for a very interesting race.
What was happening?
Dude, they shift a whole fucking football field before us.
The too.
The Euro cars.
Really?
Yes.
They've got a different tune, don't they?
Dude, it's fucking not the same. It's not the same. Like, dude, I would yank them everywhere, break zone corner, and then every straightaway right on my bumper.
Yeah.
I completed it. We survived. We survived. Dude, it's a shit show. It was very fun and very rewarding for me. I want to be challenged by the best guys, so as stressful as that was, it was also something that I got out of the car and was greatly rewarded by. While I was in the car, I was definitely telling my guys, hey, this is not an easy task to keep these guys here. I went forward, I didn't go back, so I was very happy with my result and my performance in the car. My team was happy. It was weird to kind of be in a situation where you're not fighting for the win, but people are giving you, props like you just did something. There's always kind of these weird emotions. You have times where you feel like you just drove the best race of your life and got 5th, and no one recognizes it. And then there's times where you drove 5th and people think it was the greatest drive. And thankfully, that was one of those drives where we were in the mid-pack, but it still showed a really strong performance. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting race. Tom's going to start and I'm going to finish. I'll be in on older tires, which is usually my strength, but when you don't have straight line speed, it definitely takes a tire to stop and turn. So we'll see what happens. But still very positive because at the end of the day, my PPM crew got ahead of all of these things that we've been fighting that have been really discouraging and setting us back. Now it's really on us as drivers. All of the Americans are in this boat, and I think we have one of the best cars in the American field. So I can't wait to get in my 46 tomorrow and see what we can do with that thing. So let's get that bad boy to the front. Yeah, so that night we hit hospitality, enjoyed ourselves, felt like we had a little bit of reward for getting through the day so well, and headed back to the room early to get reset. Spent a little time with my new friend Gio that had taken such good care of us at our hotel. And yeah, had this weird sensation to get up at 4 in the morning to use the restroom. And as I was standing there, I got a sharp pain in my back, and I kind of knew what it was immediately. My kidney was telling me it was throwing a code, and couldn't get it to reset. So ultimately had to take the ambulance ride. Hour-long ambulance ride to the hospital and find out that I was about to pass a kidney stone on race day of World Finals. So probably the most unideal time to have one of those hit.